G'day there everyone, Daniel Anderson here. Now, if you are responsible for internal communications inside of your organization, and let's be honest, most of us, regardless of the role that we are in, have something to communicate and share more broadly than our internal team and more widely across the organization, then Viva Amplify is something that is going to help facilitate and really streamline that process for you. Now, some use cases for Viva Amplify are obviously the typical scenarios around newsletters, product launches, even executive and leadership or staff changes, project updates, and also change management campaigns as well are some of the typical use cases that we can see and people are starting to use Viva Amplify for. Now, what is Viva Amplify? Well, Viva Amplify really is a tool that allows you to create, manage, publish and evaluate campaigns all in a single location. And it really does help drive engagement across your organization and allow people to consume any type of communication scenario where they choose or decide to work. So whether that be email, whether that be Teams, whether that be SharePoint, with Viva Amplify, we can create and craft our message and then choose what channel we distribute that to. That is what we are going to dive into right now. So we can see here I am in Viva Amplify on the Getting Started page. Now I'm going to flick over to campaigns. We're going to create a campaign all around a new product launch. So I'm going to create our campaign from scratch here, and we're launching a new product. So let's call this product launch, and we'll give this the name of our product, which the name of our product is going to be the Home Master Pro. So we've got a new product we're about to launch called the Home Master Pro. We can choose a little thumbnail color if we want to. Let's choose orange and we'll click next. So the members of our campaign, so this is the team that is going to be part of this campaign and putting it all together. So let's pop in a few people that are going to be part of this campaign, and the three of us here are going to work on this campaign together. So we'll create this campaign and then we will start to distribute and create some communications. So it's setting things up in the background, getting things ready for us to, and a space for us to all communicate and collaborate together around this particular campaign. So that's now loading, and we're going to be taken to the landing page for this particular product launch. Now we can see that we can create our messages, our publications. We've got a campaign brief here as well, where we can pop in the details of our campaign. So what are our campaign objectives? Well, I've got some objectives here that we're going to use. So I will pop and copy those and I will paste those in here. These are the objectives, and we've also got some key messages that we want to distribute as well, so that we all stay on track, or the main ideas that we're going to follow throughout this campaign. So these are the key messages that we're going to follow. So we'll save both of these, and now we're all on the same page. We've got our objectives and we've got our key messages that we want to distribute. Now, if we go to our publications, well, let's go back. It's still saving, so we'll just wait for that to save. And then we'll flick over and we'll create our first publication. So we're back on the overview section here, and we can create our publication from this overview page, or we can create it from our publications page or the publications tab here as well. So we'll flick back over to the overview tab or the landing page here. We've got a couple of different templates that we could start our communication or our publication from. So let's now, well, what we'll do is we'll choose a status update as our campaign, as our publication. So you can see here, it looks pretty familiar. We're on a SharePoint page, basically. Okay, so it is backed by SharePoint, and we do have all of the capabilities that we have in SharePoint, although it is a cut down web part gallery that we do have access to. All right, so let's just call this first publication of Home Master Pro. and we give this a title. What we might do also is just change the background. Let's just find a stock image here. Let's choose this one and we'll go insert. So again, similar to, or the same as how we do this in SharePoint, we can change the different layouts of our title area like we normally do on a SharePoint page. We've then got all of our sections and our columns. I'm just going to leave that as is right now, but that is the template for that particular publication. Now you'll also see across the navigation here, we've got access to be able to choose and select our distribution channels. So we can see that we've got Outlook, we've got SharePoint, we've got Teams, and Viva Engage very, very shortly. All right. So this is where, as I said at the start, we can create once and then choose our channels and distribute those across different channels. Let's click next. All right, so actually what we might do first, let's preview what this looks like in our different channels. So let's preview Outlook first. So we'll click preview and then we're taken to the preview section for Outlook, and we can see what that's going to look like in our email client. So that's now loading inside of the preview. You can see on the right hand side that we can directly add recipients, and we can send our test emails directly from here as well, just so that we can get the look and feel, make sure all the content is correct before we actually go ahead and send it. So we can see that that's now loaded in the preview, and if we scroll down, you can see that it's a nice responsive type of email distribution that is going to go out via that channel. Now, if I flick over to SharePoint, you can see we've got the view of what it would look like when it's posted to a SharePoint site. And then also we've got our Teams channel preview here and how this would look as a Teams post. All right, so we can, in the Teams distribution channel, we can add our channels. So add a Teams channel in the Teams editor. So when I click on add channels, we can then start typing, or when I click in there, we can see that we've got different channels as part of different teams, and we can then search for our team or our channel as well. Now, if I flick over to SharePoint, again, we can add a SharePoint or the SharePoint sites, or we can type in the URL. So if I say look for actually the landing, which is the intranet, we can say we want to post this to the landing, and then if we select that, it's going to be added or posted into the site pages as a news post into that site. So we'll choose that there. You'll also see, especially in the Outlook section here, we've got the ability to customize this. So if we wanted to customize the body of the email or add some content or something like that specifically for the email channel, then we could do that as part of this editor here as well. And that's not going to affect what happens here in the SharePoint channel. Now, if we flick over to Teams, we can also do the same thing inside of our Teams post as well. So there's a couple of customization options there if we wanted to do that. And you can see here, updates made here will not reflect the main draft or other distribution channels. Okay, so there's that there, but so if we're in SharePoint, you'll see when we go to customize this, it does affect the main draft as well. So you can see that changes to the content made for the SharePoint distribution channel does reflect the main draft. Okay, so only in that one will it affect the main draft. The other two, we can sort of customize that to those particular channels. So once we're happy with our publication, we've got the option to now publish now. We can schedule to publish, or we can request approval. So obviously when we publish now, it's going to publish straight away. When we click on request approval, then we need to review the email. Well, we haven't finished the actual publication here, because on our Outlook channel, what we would need to do is we need to edit who this is being sent to. So if we up in the to box, we can then maybe we'll send this to all company. Okay, so there's all company. Now that we've set our recipients for Outlook, we then need to do the same thing for Teams, because we've chosen Teams as a channel. We need to then type in or set the channel that we want to post this to as well. So we've got the Mark 8 project team, the digital assets web channel. That's where this is going to get posted to. So once we've selected our team and our channel, we can go up to publish and we can take action. So we can request approval, or we can publish now, or we could schedule that as well. All right, so you can see here, we've got a summary of our publication, where it's being sent to, who it's being sent to via Outlook, where it's being posted in SharePoint, and also what channel that is being posted to inside of Teams. We can then click next, and then we can type in our approvers to send this publication to get approved. We can, if it's multiple, we can require responses from all, and we could mark that as important as well. So let's cancel this. And what I want to do is I'm going to just click on schedule this post. Let's have a look at that experience. So you can see, again, we get our publication summary, we hit next, and then we can determine when this gets published on. So think about an entire campaign and our different publications. We can then time and schedule an entire campaign directly from Viva Amplify. We could load up all of our publications that are part of that campaign, schedule each one, and then they get distributed at that particular scheduled time as well. So let's go back, and I'll cancel this, and I'll go to publish, and I'll publish now. All right, so this is going to immediately publish this publication. So we'll click publish, and you can see that it's whizzing away there, and it's publishing now and distributing to those channels. You can see we get a detailed view here of where this is posting to and where it's sending. We've got the status, and we can see that we just need to wait a little bit of time before this gets completed. So each one of these channels has now been published to, and we've got little shortcuts here where we can go directly and view that distribution channel. And then we've also got the Teams link here as well. Let's cancel that. We'll just use the web app. And you can see when I open up the SharePoint channel, you can see that I'm on the landing. It's been published to the site pages library of the landing site, and there is our page that has been posted. Okay, now if we jump back to the landing site here, we can see if we had, and there's the news web part that has picked up that new news post and has already posted that and made that available through the news web part on the homepage. Now, if we then also jump into Microsoft Teams, so we'll just jump into the Mark 8 project team, and we'll pop into that channel, and then we'll have a look and see what that publication looks like inside of that channel as well. So here we are inside of the Mark 8 project team and the design channel, and you can see here is the post that has been posted, and you'll notice that that is the same as what we saw in the preview, and we've got that post that has been sent there. Okay, now if we jump back into Viva Engage now, what we also do have, if we pop back into campaigns, we've got also the ability to measure the impact of that particular campaign. So you can see that this has been published, when it was published, and we can view the report of this publication. And we've got our detailed report here. We can see unique viewers across the different channels. What we can also see down here under detailed report is the ability for us to group by different organizational structures as well. So if your organization is using Microsoft 365 organizational data and that has been added, then you can also do your reporting according to the organizational structure that also provides as well. So some really good capabilities there from a reporting perspective. That way gives us an insight into what we can do to, if a particular campaign was less than what we expected, then we can make some changes to the next campaign or even the next publication that we distribute that to. So for example, if we see that a majority or there's no publications that are being consumed via Microsoft Teams, then potentially we could just remove that as a publication, as a channel, as a distribution channel moving forward for this particular campaign. So Viva Amplify really is helping streamline communication campaigns across your organization. There's lots of different use cases for it. So I hope that brings you some value. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.